Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope everyone's doing well. This is Big Red. Welcome to Big Red Leads. I'm Big Red, getting you and your business back to the black. Now, with that being said, today, really quickly, I can see you guys are probably looking at my hair like, oh, it looks fantastic. And it does. It feels great. By the way, you ever get the opportunity, make sure that you are taking care of yourself like you are responsible for yourself. Please understand, a little self care, a little self love goes a long way in keeping you mentally and well balanced within inside of yourself. So, a little aloe vera, a little banana, a little onion, put that in a blender, mix it up till it becomes a nice paste, almost shampoo thickish. Massage that into the scalp, rub it through all of your hair follicles. Then you wash that out with a natural shampoo a little later. Leave it. I just say usually leave it in for 1 to 2 hours. The longer, the better. However, keeps your hair nice and shiny, healthy, strong, and fit to take on the world and the elements that are outside. So, that being said, that's what's going on with all this loveliness up top. Now, what are we talking about today? Well, a lot of people probably heard me say the phrase at the beginning of the video, and it's something that I truly live by and something that I'm very proud of. What we do is we help a lot of businesses that happen to be in the red who are struggling and get them to the black. Profitable. Seriously profitable. Now, your communication is key in all of this. You are responsible and need to be accountable and held accountable to your communication. Now, when someone tells you that you need to be accountable for their lack of communication, you need to tell them to shut the hell up. That's just the truth. Because if they're not willing to, or they don't see it, there's a mass problem. And if they're not willing to step into the reality of the situation and understanding that culture matters, I speak to so many people on a daily basis about understanding the culture of your job, understanding the culture of your business, understanding the culture that surrounds you, that you create and you allow to happen. The things you tolerate are a part of your culture. The things that you do not tolerate, that you will not take from anyone, much less yourself, those are all a part of the culture that surrounds you on a daily basis. What do I mean by that? Red, what's going on there? Like, share, definitely subscribe to the channel. What I'm simply getting at is, why would you put up with something from someone that you would not put up with from yourself? The shortcomings, the attitude, the lack of awareness in the workspace should not be tolerated, much less coming from management or even the owner. 9 times out of 10, it's most people's their own ambitions get in the way and cloud their judgment on how you should treat people. Treat people with respect. It all starts with a handshake. It should be a firm grip. Look that person in the eye and introduce yourself. The problem with that is most people not being accountable for their communication, especially in management and ownership in a lot of companies. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've experienced it throughout my life, especially working for jobs and even doing some consulting with some companies. A lot of that is missing. If you have a firm handshake, but you have a weak wrist, that is a recipe for disaster. That means that you are not accountable for your communication. But you demand it and command it from those who work with you, much less for you. You are sadly mistaken if you think that you're going to keep great employees who could actually lead your company back to the black, where they need to be, where the company should be. Because understand, that is a part of your culture. And what comes with that? You can't rule with an iron fist if you're weak. If you're weak, if your fist is limp. You ever seen a dog shake hands? It's the weakest, limpest thing. It's saddening. Funny at the same time. Because I guarantee if you work in an environment such as this, you're going to end up with a mass exodus of the really good employees. Unless the company that you work for is treating these people with true respect and they are being well compensated, most people don't want to deal with the headache, much less the nonsense that comes with it. There will be office politics no matter where you work if you are not an employer yourself. If you work a job, you are going to deal with office politics. Hell, maybe the supervisor is the owner's son. They are the biggest headaches. Maybe it's a family-run business and half the family who works for the company doesn't know what the hell they're doing. There is a litany of things that go on in a space where the communication is subpar, but yet they expect everyone to be accountable. Please understand what I'm getting at with this. If you work at a place such as this, do not tolerate it. Do not allow it in your space. If you are there, and if you spend any amount of real time, you're giving up a part of your life to spend time there. Please make sure that you are being well compensated for your time, and understand that your time is limited there. Because if you have any integrity, if you respect yourself, if you respect the other employees who work in the arena and the space with you, there will be that mass exodus that I spoke of. There will be people leaving in droves. And what it also says about this particular company, their word means nothing. Their word means absolutely nothing. So, what do we do? You have to understand, these are things that you need to check off. This is at every office in the country. This is at every workplace in the country. This is at every factory. This is at every manufacturing company. This is at every single one. This is at a tire sales place. This is going on. Any and every job that you can think of that is not necessarily a private contractor, or you just have one or two employees, this is going on. The problem is that most people aren't willing to step into it, acknowledge it, recognize it, much less make any change or any real difference. Because you can love the environment, you can love the people you work with, but if the communication is lacking whatsoever, it leaves so much to be desired. So why would you put up with it unless you were well compensated? It's so funny because we're sitting up here talking about gas prices. We're talking about all the things that are going on in the real world that are affecting what it actually is. There are a lot of jobs that haven't caught up with the times, much less or even thinking about giving raises and wage increases. They say it's not in the right place to do that. Well, what it also says is that you're not looking to expand and grow. You can't say that you're giving out or passing out competitive wages in markets where, hell, McDonald's employees are being offered $21 an hour. We're talking about having a living wage. So if you're one of the companies that claim to be something great and want to do something different, you need to be truly compensating these people. So, $20 an hour, that's the minimum. It's really not a livable wage. Unless you live in parts of what a lot of people call flyover states. That's really not a livable wage. And I only say this and speak to this because I've experienced it. Living in Marin County, $20 an hour, that's what people make at grocery stores. And we're not talking any management. $20 an hour is not what we're striving for. At the same time, unless you have a specific degree and work in a very specific field where you're making whatever you can name your salary to be, sales is one of those markets. Please understand, it's not for everybody. Everybody's not meant to work a job. At the same time, most people are. But they deserve to be respected. So that's where I'm speaking to all the employers out there. It is not only your job, it's not only your duty to be accountable and clear in your communication. If you truly love and respect the people who make you money and keep your business in the black, I suggest that you make sure that you're taking care of them in more than just the financial department. Listen to your employees. Ask them questions about the job. What can we do to make this place better? What can we do to make this a better environment for real growth? And be willing to change. The reason most people keep a business small is because it makes them nimble. But if you are in the space where you are expanding and growing, which a lot of companies should be, and not retracting and removing and getting rid of employees, if you want to be in that space, please understand what comes with it. And ruling with an iron fist will only get you so far. But ruling with being accountable for your communication and being clear and concise with your employees makes the biggest difference in the world. I know this message will help somebody. Love you all. Like, share, definitely subscribe to the channel. This is Big Red Leads. Try the aloe vera. Aloe vera, banana, and onion. Little self-care, little self-love goes a long way. Have a great one, my friends. Talk soon.